Hello and welcome to the first part of the episode proper for A Day to Remember, and we'll start with the band's debut album, And Their Name Was Treason. Released in 2005, it would come through Indianola Records, and it was produced by the man himself, Andrew Wade. So there was actually a lot going into this album, mostly a friend of the band's drummer being a drama queen, and the band also recorded it all in about 3 days in Wade's bedroom. Holy hell. Anyway, the album opens with an intro track titled Intro, and then goes into first actual song, Heartless, and let's go. So the instrumental work is fast-paced and has a more metalcore lilt to things with speedy chugs and some really heavy drum work. The lyrics seem to focus on things like relationships and anxiety, and possibly the theme of treason too, and it all really sounds good. The band work pretty solidly together, with McKinnon putting on a solid performance and Denny being fantastic in his own right as well. The production is kind of a mess though, which is a bit of a surprise from Andrew Wade of all people. It doesn't really tighten a lot up, but it does fit the frantic style of the album well enough, I guess. The structure is a pretty fun half hour of heavy instrumental work with good usage of movie sound bites as well. My favourite song goes to You Should Have Killed Me When You Had the Chance. And Their Name Was Treason needed work, but it's honestly just a good listen, a surprisingly fun time to boot, and not a bad way for the band's career to start. Next is the band's second album, For Those Who Have Heart. Released in 2007, it would come out through Victory Records, and it was produced by Eric Arena as well as the band themselves. So yeah, their debut was enough of a hit to get them signed to Victory, and it would be their first album with current drummer Alex Shellner as well, who was only 16 at the time. I'm disgusted by that. Oh, and also they did some touring, so woo for that. Anyway, the album starts with the song Fast Forward to 2012, and already this is a more balanced side of the band. Instrumentally, it's more melodic with more pop punk added on, but also still with heavy chugs too. The lyrics are less ambiguous with themes of betrayal and love, all with a more emo sort of tinge to the themes as well. The performances are again solid, with Alex Shellner making a hell of a debut and Jeremy tapping in more to his really good singing voice along with his already really good screams. The production is way clearer here as well, with Eric bringing a lot out of the band and mixing it pretty well too. The structure is also really fun, sticking to a solid loop and adding some really nice melody and pace changes mixed up well with a good tonal undercurrent. My favourite song goes to the closing track, Start Shooting. For Those Who Have Heart shows the band getting a better grip on things with solid instrumentation, great melodies and some decent maturity too. Next is the band's third album, Homesick. Released in 2009, it was again put out through Victory Records and it was produced by the band themselves alongside Newfound Glory's own Chad Gilbert. So there's not really a lot to say for the in-between, but the band would tour with other huge names to promote For Those Who Have Heart, and they put out a remastered version of their debut album titled Old Record. Oh, and they did a cover of Kelly Clarkson's Since You've Been Gone, which was also my first song by them. Anyway, onto the album, which starts with the song Downfall of a Soul, and this is already a heavier side of the band. The instrumental work has some really solid melody, but there's a lot of heavy metalcore chugging throughout it as well. A lot of the lyrics are focused on aspects of the music business, like pressure from touring and struggling to finish songs, but it's actually quite hard to tell that at first. You really do have to look into it. The performances are also pretty solid, with Josh Wood going off and Jeremy McKinnon having a more guttural feel to his scream too. The production is solid for the most part, polishing a lot of the edges and keeping things really controlled and fairly simple. The structuring doesn't veer too much from what the band typically do, and it can be a bit repetitive at times, but it does what it does pretty well, and it's not a terrible listen. My favourite song goes to the title track. Homesick can be a bit basic at times, sure, but it's just a solid amount of fun, and the band keep learning new things as they go. And finally, for part 1, we reach the band's fourth album, What Separates Me From You. Released in 2010, it would be the band's last through Victory, and it was produced by Chad Gilbert, Andrew Wade, and Jeremy McKinnon. So there wasn't too much in between albums as the short time gap would indicate, but there was a lineup shift as Tom Denny would be sort of replaced by Kevin Scaff, and there was probably some touring done as well. This was also my first full A Day to Remember album, so yeah. Anyway, the album starts with the song Sticks and Bricks, and again this is sort of a shift in sound for them. It's got more of a pop punk lean, with the riffs falling more into that side of things, with a nice crunch on the drumming melodies too. The lyrical themes are those of betrayal and relationships too, with another good personal scope on things that really puts it into perspective. The performances are solid, Kevin fits in well, and I can't really say enough good things about Alex especially. He continues to just fucking go off. He's really good. The production is great as you would expect from the men working on it, always giving good boosts and keeping things flowing quite nicely. The structure has a better cohesion as well, with a better sense of pacing than Homesick, and a nice main sound that bounces around pretty well. My favourite song goes to All I Want. Me From You is a solid follow-up to Homesick, and shows the band learning a lot more as they go. They just keep learning, damn it. And that'll about do it for part 1. I will hopefully see you for part 2, where I'll be covering From Common Courtesy to You're Welcome. That is if I can get that done tomorrow. I might have to push the Ultimate Fighter episode review back until Monday because I've got other things to get through as well. But yeah, also tomorrow night I'll probably be doing another random gaming stream, just playing whatever the hell I want. But yeah, that'll about do it. I'll see you tomorrow for part 2. And as always, thank you for watching. You're awesome. Bye bye.